Here at Happy Cat Sanctuary. They came by and took down the property. It's time for closure. I feel it in my heart. It's time for us to close this chapter and this tragedy. This is sad what had happened here at Happy Cat Sanctuary. And I'm gonna walk through. They took down everything down, which it's been 6 months since this horrible tragedy happened. And this is this is the waterfall pond that Krista there's a video on Happy Cat Sanctuary's page where Chris goes inside and was swimming in there. It was funny, very funny. This was where the house was, and this is the other waterfall structure that he had here for the cats to drink out of the water fountain, which is amazing. It's really super cool. I would have put some goldfish in there and let the cats play with them. But yeah, it's all taken down now. Like I said, it is time for closure for everyone to, pay all last respects and go forward with what is going on as far as the whole situation. Unfortunately, it's a downright sin what happened here and what is continuously happening as far as the innocent lives of these beautiful cats that Chris dedicated his life to caring for them and making sure they had a safe home. And it's funny, as I'm walking through here without all the structures, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see how the sanctuary looked, after the fire. And I hadn't been here. I'd explained it in one of my other videos, how I hadn't been here in 10 years. So Chris had all AstroTurf put down around the whole entire place. Like, it's this stuff. This is AstroTurf. And it was beautiful. But when I was here 10 years ago, he didn't have it. It was all cement. So he would hose it down. And in memory of Chris. And I hope you're looking down from above and seeing how we're fighting for your cats. We love you. We love your cats. And we're doing our hardest. And taking, it's taken a lot out of us. This whole tragedy has just been a sin. What had gone on, the fact that, they got some neighbors who didn't like what he did and harassed this poor innocent man. And the other major downright sin is the whole thing of what they had done to his poor daughter, who didn't even have the chance to grieve her father's death. And others were making her life miserable. The poor girl, well, not miserable, but I'm just saying that what they're doing and trying to do to this poor girl is awful. Like, you don't do that, I couldn't understand it for the life of me. Sorry, there's a chopper moving over. Oh, there's a chopper. Sorry about that. It was a police helicopter. So this structure here, my friend was over here the other day. Actually, I'm sorry, not the other day. He was here before, a little earlier. And he built all this place, so you could just imagine how he feels and how we all feel about the fact that, this tragedy happened. And the worst part of it all is the loss of Christopher Arsenault. When I remember meeting him 10 years ago with another rescue, and he was such a kind-hearted man. And it's such a downright sin what occurred and how people are. I don't understand. Like, the thing that bothers me the most in rescue, and this is what pushes me away, it pushes a lot of people away, is how other people treat other people. You know, there's a such thing called unity. You know, we're all human. Like, there's no reason why people can't come together and unite. It's called unity. You know, you unite as one. You don't try to. I'm just flabbergasted as to what people are doing. Trashing this poor man's daughter. Why would you do that? I've spoken to Kristen Arsenault. She's the sweetest person in the world. And I'll do anything for her. I will defend her tooth and nail, and I will fight for her to win this case. Like, I can't believe that you would do something like that. And the people that are trashing this poor girl, of course they come after me. I'm being accused of stealing $50,000, and I'm just like, okay, how did I do that? That's like virtually impossible, because I think I would be investigated. And I think I wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be in jail. But okay, right, sure. So the little rumors and the gossip and the slander, and technically, you know, I have text message proof of these things. I could press charges on you for defamation of character. It's unbelievable, to be honest, because like in rescue, you would think that people would come together and unite with one another and fight with each other and not against. You know, it's like, oh, you have to be on one side or the other. There's no neutral. Why is there no neutral? I don't live my life like that. I never did. You know, the only thing that I care about is the safety, the well-being of these innocent cats that didn't deserve to lose their beautiful home. And it's really sad. It's just a sin. You know, and however this happened, there's so many questions. There's just a lot. It's just so sad. But at one point, on this piece of land, were hundreds of cats living a beautiful life. There was so much life here. And this structure, this is one of my favorites actually, because I know my friend that built it, you know. This is a sin. It really is. It's a major tragedy that happened here on Long Island, New York, March 31st, 2025. The loss of Christopher Arsenault and the loss of Happy Cat Sanctuary was probably the worst thing that could have happened. But then again, who knows? Hopefully this tragedy will teach people and learn that when you're dealing with animals who are voiceless, like, they can't fight for themselves, and we have to fight for them. And why go against one another? Why not come together as a unit? Be their voice. Help them. I don't understand it. Be on this side. You have to be on that side. No, I can do whatever I want. It's called being a free American citizen. You know, I can be on whatever side I want to be on. I don't have to pick and choose. You know, I do whatever I want. And that's how I live my life. I tried to stay neutral, but neutral just didn't work when you're dealing with people who want to fight with each other. You know, there's other wars in this world that people are fighting. There's other things going on in this country. Who needs people fighting against each other with innocent animals? Some people may turn around and say, oh, they're just cats. No, they're not. I have ferals. I have feral cats that I've made into not ferals. It's not impossible. You can, it's done. It can be done. You know, it's just this tragedy has damaged me emotionally. I think it's because it deals with cats. You know, I've always had a cat. Or more than one. I've always been a cat lover. I'm a lover of all animals, but I always took to cats because there's a lot more people that dislike cats than people that love them. you know, and that's what Chris did. Chris loved these cats, you know, and then say what you want about the man, you know. I know how I feel in my heart about him, you know. Did he hoard them? Hey, you know what? I wouldn't want you taking my babies away from me neither. You know what I mean? It's devastating. You get an attachment. You know, you get attached to them, and it's sad. It really is. And just to think that this was a beautiful, beautiful thing. The other thing that needs to change in our state, in our towns, you know, the state needs to come together and figure it out. We got a bad feral problem here on Long Island. This man did everything in his power to help, and he lost his life. And we lost this sanctuary. This place was gorgeous, beautiful. If I was a cat, I'd want to live here. But wouldn't? If you were a cat, wouldn't you want to sleep up there and hang on? I'm good. It's just sad, you know? I would have loved to have been a cat, climb all the way up there and hang out up there like I'm the queen of the world here. You know, king of the world, you know? It's just a downright sin what happened here. Things need to change. We need change in this world. We need change in the rescue community. People need to stop and learn from what happened here at Happy Cat Sanctuary. And if you can't, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't want to get upset anymore. I've done my fair share of crying over this, but there's times where I feel I haven't. You know, I'm not done with the emotional part of it. You know, the emotional hurt, the sadness, you know. And people that want to just take control and run with the show, and they're all in control of everything, and it's sad. The only things that are going to suffer are these poor innocent cats that did absolutely nothing wrong in this world. It's not their fault. It's just sad. But yeah, and I understand why Kristen, you know, this has got to be damaging for her. This was her father. And how dare you bash that woman? How dare anyone bash her or say anything wrong about her? She wants the... I just can't. I just can't anymore. You know, it's time to move on too, and I got it. It's time to continue the fight that we are fighting. And it's time we get these cats to a safe haven where they can live the rest of their lives out, not be scattered all over the world. Okay? They're scattered all over Long Island. They were given away like candy on Halloween. And this is your best friend? You didn't even go to his funeral. Unreal. Unreal. And you told others not to go. And then I was told that we were wanted at that man's funeral to pay. I couldn't pay my last respects to a man who I couldn't believe would do something like this. You know, everybody always says the crazy cat ladies. But this was a man who devoted his life to caring for cats that no one else would do. And you dare to try to I can't believe what people do. Unbelievable. I'm gonna end this now. Pay my last respects. I'm gonna sit down for a few minutes and say a little prayer in memory of Chris and Happy Cat Sanctuary. And let's pray we get to the bottom of all this. Because it's just crazy. And it's a sin. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.